Love in action is harsh and dreadful thing compared to love in dreams. Love in action is harsh and dreadful thing compared to love in dreams. It's a beautiful quotation by the great Russian writer Fyodor Dostoevsky. My dear friends, we are on the fifth Sunday in the season of Lent. And the church is giving us beautiful reflections from the book of the prophet Jeremiah and letter to the Hebrews, and a beautiful gospel that speaks about the seeds that must crack and open and drain itself and produces a beautiful fruit. At times when we look at life, in this season of COVID, which has been lasted for more than 1 year, we often hear people telling, stay safe and stay protected. And today, when Jesus talks about, unless you become a seed that falls down, decays and produces fruit, what does it mean? You are thrown into a dangerous situation. Is that what Jesus means for us? Let us focus on the first reading today. The first reading, which is beautiful, from Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31, talks about the new law, the new covenant that is given to us. What is this new law? God always in the history of Israel entered into covenant with the Israelites through various prophets, kings, leaders. Some of the beautiful names we have are Moses, starting from Abraham, David, and a lot of kings and big people in the Old Testament history. This covenant that God brings today in this book of the prophet Jeremiah is something different. He talks about his new law that will be inscribed on the hearts. And they will come to know that I am their God and they are my people. Something that is unheard, unknown to the people till then. And this law makes them God's personal people, God's personal property. My friends, what a beautiful invitation that we have from the good Lord in the Old Testament. A candle gives light by melting its wax. An oyster, after long and painful process, having this little piece of sand inside, produces this priceless pearl. Loving parents always do every sacrifice, takes up any time for their children, that they become beautiful in their life. And those who sacrificed something are later glorified through their fruits, through their products. And we have wonderful people in the church. Wonderful woman, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, having this 5 rupees in her hand, which is like 17 American cents, starting this new venture for the poorest of the poor in the slums of Calcutta. And we have the birth of Missionaries of Charity. And we have this Franciscan priest in the concentration camp, standing forward, telling that, take my life, and I will replace that man who will be executed on the next day. And we have the wonderful heroic story of Francis called Maximilian Kolbe. This young American boy who just volunteered to go to Soviet Union, Walter Tschek, almost spending close to 20-25 years in the torture and terror in the hardships for his faith, later brings about wonderful conviction and promotion of faith for the people of America and everywhere. And this person writing has inspired millions of people. He leads me. My friends, when people are ready to go down, to crack open, spend their lives for the others, they glorify God and the humanity. What we hear are what our ears train to hear. It's not the same. At times, we don't have time to listen because we are occupied in giving the response in a conversation. When these Greek people coming to see Jesus, are they just coming because they are so curious, or they really want to see Jesus in the gospel that we have today? They just want to see Jesus and they just want to experience. This is a new beginning in the gospel, because this is where The message of Jesus is for the entire universe and for every people. And they are seeking more and more, they are more attracted to the good Lord. And in the first reading that we listened already, that you will be my people, I will be your God, by the inscription of my law on your hearts. And God is inviting us that this law be inscribed on our hearts, the law of love. As Father O.S.T told in his reflection, love is risky, it is dreadful when it is in action. In dreams, it doesn't much cause a pain. And as we are people called to be the people of love and action, and the best action that we have of love is in the Holy Eucharist, where taking the body and blood, Jesus tells, take this and eat of it and become me. My dear people, as we advance our journey toward the final part of the Lenten season, through the passion, death and resurrection of the good Lord, the invitation for us is to have this inscription of God's divine law on our hearts. As the Greeks search for Jesus to see him with a real heart, real interest, we come looking for the Lord. And as toward the end in the gospel that we see, to become that seed, ready to die, leaving our safe zones, safe spaces, safe investments, God is inviting us to be the people who are ready to die and produce more fruit. This beautiful Sunday milk may help us all to deepen our faith and love for the good Lord. God bless you.